You've been sending cold emails in the wrong way, and today I'm going to show you how to fix it.
Dreadlabs.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs and I'm a visual artist and graphic designer. Ever since I've left college, I've been able to freelance, doing commission work, and something that comes with that, life as a freelancer of course, is sending cold emails. I usually get a lot of negative reactions when I talk about cold emailing because a lot of people claim that it doesn't work. And of course, we live in an era where a lot of cold emails basically don't really work anymore. But I'm here to tell you that you've probably been doing this the wrong way. The method that I'm going to show you, for me personally, has basically a 1 in 4 success rate. That means that you can get 10 commissions from sending 40 emails. And that's, for me personally as a visual artist, I think that's pretty okay. I briefly talked about this in the past live stream, so I figured I will do a dedicated video for this. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide into sending cold emails the right way. So the first thing you have to do is some preparation. Start by making a spreadsheet in either Excel or in Google Spreadsheets. That's what I preferably use since I use both a Mac and a Windows computer, and through Google Drive I can just basically check something out when I'm on my phone or my laptop or on my PC. In this spreadsheet you want to enter a couple of things. The name of the company that you want to reach out to, the email address of the person that you want to reach out to, and if it's a larger company, you should also describe the person that you're reaching out to and what their function within the company is. But of course, sometimes you just reach out to a single person. Then for yourself, describe what the company does, as well as what you can help out with for that company. In the last column, you should add a checkbox. So I don't really know how to do this in Excel. It's probably very similar, but I'm going to show you a real quick hack that I learned in Google Spreadsheets. All right, so we also want to make a checkbox with conditional formatting on to check really easily whether a person has been reached out to. So if you've already sent that cold email, as well as if you got a response back. So what I'm going to do here in the column H, I'm going to just click on this entire column and then hold Control or Command on my keyboard and click on the top bar because we don't really need to insert anything in there. Next, I'm going to go to Insert and then click on Checkbox. And as you can see, we now have an entire row of checkboxes. So you want to select the entire row here, go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and we'll change the formula to Custom. And then we'll type out is $, and then the coordinate of your checkbox. So in our case, that's H2, and is true in all caps. Then we'll change the formatting style to orange and click on Done. And now if we check this box, this will mark out as orange. All right, so we can do something similar with the response here. So let's select the entire row of I. We'll remove the selection of the top bar here and we'll insert more checkboxes. So sadly, we cannot change the entire fill color once this one is checked on. And that's, I think, because these rules overlap and I'm not a spreadsheet expert, so there might be a way to fix this. But if we add another rule and we'll change the custom formula to something like is $I2 is true. So basically when this box is checked on, we can change the color to green and we'll click on strike through. So when we click done, let's just fill in some name. All right, so I just made a random fill, and once we click on reach out, you can see everything that's been orange in your spreadsheet, that will be someone you send an email to. And if you get a response, then this checkbox will light up green. I'm not sure why the strike through isn't working. If you're better at Excel than me, you could probably fix that. Otherwise, maybe someone in the comments can help out with that. Anyways, the main point of this video isn't to make a spreadsheet, it's basically to get all of your potential leads in one place. And this also, of course, makes it easier to see who you already reached out to and if someone already got a response. So this can also kind of measure your success rate. So once you did your groundwork and you finished preparing, it's time to do more groundwork because you're gonna reach out to these companies and you need to do research on them. Sending someone an email like, hey, I can do your cover artworks, I can make your website, I can do this logo for you, that won't work. Every single week I get hundreds of emails from people claiming they can fix my SEO presence and blah 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 blah. And that's just because they either are bots or they just found my emails through my YouTube or through Google or whatever, and they reach out by not even knowing who I am. The funniest part is, because my email is info@dreadlabs.net, some people call me info. Their email is literally, hello info, I can help you with SEO. Don't be like that. However, all of the marketing emails that I get where people say, hello Tom, so they know I'm not called Dreadlabs, they know my name is Tom, so they either have researched my website, found my YouTube and watched a video or whatever, I automatically read those emails, even if they're not for something I need. So with that being said, do some research on the companies that you want to reach out to. The most important thing that should come out of your research is something that they don't have or they're not doing well that you can help them with. Remember, these companies at this point in time don't need you. So reaching out and asking them if you want to do their logo, if they already have a logo, or if you want to optimize their website while they're already having a website, they're usually just like, no thanks, I don't really know who you are. To give you an example, there are a couple of record labels who are pretty prominent in certain scenes. Their album artworks are pretty cool, so they don't really need a graphic designer for their album covers, but they can definitely improve on their social media presence. So what I would do is I would research, check the about section of their websites, or check out LinkedIn and see who works for the company, and send them an email with something like, hey Todd, my name is Tom from Dreadlabs. I see that your label is doing really well. The thing, however, is I think you can get a lot more streams if you start promoting your tracks to Instagram or YouTube. It so happens that I do animation work, so based on the cover artworks that you already have in store, I can do animations for you. We can even work out a retainer price, and this way you can start reaching a wider audience with your label. So remember here, I'm not saying that their graphic designer isn't doing a good job. I'm just looking at something that they're doing and thinking I can help them improve that. And in this case, help them get more streams. And when they get more streams, they earn more money, of course. When sending emails, keep it short, don't tell your whole life story. But it might be interesting to share with them someone you already worked with who might be relevant to them. For example, here in the Netherlands, I did the merchandise for a festival called Sunda. And if I reach out to do a merchandise job, especially in the dance scene, I usually mention them since it's a pretty well-known festival in the techno scene here in the Netherlands. And it was also quite a large project where there are a lot of photos from and it's easily findable. Of course, you don't need to brag about everything you've done already, just keep it relevant to the person you're reaching out to. So now that you've sent your cold email, here comes the next part, and that's learning how to deal with rejection. Maybe not rejection, but more like them ignoring your email. Of course, it's always good to deal with rejection. It's better for your mental health. Don't forget to do that. But when you don't get a response within 4 days, it's very likely that someone has read your email and chose to ignore it. This can of course mean a couple of things. The most prominent one is thinking that they don't need you, or they're just like already working with someone there, or maybe they just like opened it and didn't really read it all the way through. So usually after around 4 days, I send a follow-up. In this follow-up, I quickly mention something that might trigger them to reach out to me. For example, seeing if someone of their competitors are doing something that I can offer them to help with. Let's go back to this label that I'm just talking about. If I wouldn't get a response, I would send them a couple of labels that are competitors of them, or maybe a couple of artists that have signed with them, or maybe like artists that are in the same scene, and seeing what they're doing well with their social media presence that helps them get more streams. In that email, I would simply explain like, hey Todd, I see that you haven't been responding to my email. I was still curious if you would like to reach out, because I've seen that label B and artists A, B, and C that were once with your label are doing really well stream-wise, and I think that's because they're doing Spotify canvases, they're promoting their songs on Instagram with animations, stuff like that. So before we continue with the video, I just wanted to talk real quick about my YouTube channel. I've been making videos over 4 years now, and I've nearly reaching 500 videos on my channel. That means that I almost have 500 videos, tutorials, and guides for freelancers in the creative scene, and they're all available for free. In order to keep doing that, I need some sort of income through Dreadlabs, because coming up with these videos, writing scripts, recording and editing these videos takes a lot of time. If I was forced to get a day job, I wouldn't be able to have enough time to do all of this for you guys for free. That's where my Patreon channel and my website come in. On my website, you can shop a couple of different assets, mainly focused at graphic designers, such as textures, vector packs, and more. As a member of my Patreon channel, you'll get access to all of the project files from all of my tutorials. And new ones are of course added every single month. You'll also get access to my past live streams to see my full design process, a 15% discount in my web store that I just mentioned, as well as an exclusive role in my Dreadlabs Discord server with over 3,000 creatives that ask each other questions, give each other feedback, and talk about life as a creative. There's also a slightly more expensive tier that gives you access to exclusive tutorial videos, such as how to start your own clothing brand, how to make death metal logos from scratch, and many more. On top of that, you'll also get an additional 100 project files from my Creatober series, most of which are poster designs that come with Photoshop and Cinema 4D and Illustrator files. So if this all sounds interesting to you, there's a link to my web shop and my Patreon channel in the description down below. Of course, I do understand that not everyone has the budget to support Dreadlabs, but if you still want to, you can always leave a like and a comment on this video, share it with someone that might find it interesting, and of course subscribe to my channel. A lot of my subscribers don't seem to see my videos when they just get uploaded, and that's why I always recommend clicking on that bell button once you subscribe. This way you'll never miss a new tutorial and new ones are coming every single week. Now with all of that being said, let's continue back into the video. If I still don't get a response after this, I wait for a week and then I send my last follow-up email. In this last follow-up, you basically want to share with them how you would help them. Don't do any work yet, just describe to them how you could help them with that. Something like, hey Todd, just reaching out one last time if you're interested. If not, I'll leave you alone. I just wanted to share that I'm a very experienced animator, and by simply sending over the cover artwork files, I can do an animation with a turnover within 1 day. So basically, as soon as you have your masters and cover artwork ready, I can have a full-on social media rollout ready for you within a day. Or with merchandise, perhaps you can show a mood board or talk about a competitor that is very successful selling merch. As long as you show your potential client or your lead that they're actually missing out on something you can help them with, rather than you just asking for work. Hopefully you'll understand that that's the main takeaway of this video. And that also takes me to my last tip, and that's don't email someone that you just want to work for while thinking that you cannot help them with something. If there's a giant label who probably have their own graphic designer, animator, they do their own merch, video animations, their website's optimized, they're doing really well on social media, then of course it doesn't really hurt to reach out, but you can imagine that they're probably already set with all of those services that I just mentioned, and I cannot help them with that really, so it might be more productive to focus on a lead that actually needs your help. Okay, there's one final tip that I want to give you, and that's always send something in links. If you're going to send attachment that people have to download, people are usually not going to do that from an email address that they don't know. Even if it's just a PDF file, it can come across as spam, and if you want to send a capability deck or a portfolio or whatever, I would always recommend sending it through a website link or whatever. So in short, avoid attachments in the email. Well, there you have it guys, a couple of tips on how to send better cold emails. I hope this video was useful, and I hope you find new clients, maybe even your first client, with the tips that I shared with you today. If you have any tips yourself you want to share with the rest of us regarding cool emails or finding clients, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below and we'll help each other out. With all of that being said, this is Tom from Dreadlabs tuning out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.